Hello and welcome to Insane Dicing Skills podcast number 10. This time with better reports from a tournament I played just yesterday in Leipzig. It's, I think, what was the 13th Sachsenmeisterschaft. So we wanted to see who's the best Saxon player. Well, we had players I think from all over Germany, but still a pretty nice tournament. 1 day, 3 games, just around the corner here in Leipzig. So yeah, pretty nice. There was just one difficulty I had with this tournament, and that was that you could just bring your roster at the day when you start playing. So I could change my roster like 1 minute before I started playing, and that was pretty difficult for me. So I had a really hard struggle to find the right roster for me. A really good friend of mine just stayed over the weekend here because he was participating at this tournament too, and we talked like 2.5 hours before the night before the tournament, which roster I will bring, and we had at least I think 12 different rosters I wanted to try out, or he thought would be worth playing, or some rosters just I wanted to play, and then we let the dice decide which roster it would be, and yeah, here it is. It's pretty similar list I played at the last DMP. So yeah, just some small adjustments for this. But since I didn't talk about this roster in any podcast right now, I just give you a short, brief explanation about it. So this is pretty much a infantry build. The goal of this roster is that you're pretty immune to all the shooting stuff, so you can just stand in front of the enemy and cast 6 turns alchemy magic. If nothing really happens, or maybe you just can't push into your opponent, or you don't want to because it's too dangerous or too difficult, or maybe you just want the safe 13-7, 14-6 by winning the scenario, and then yeah, by winning the scenario and maybe killing some stuff with your alchemy sorcerer. So this was the plan here, and I think this was the really is great at this stuff. So I have, sorry, I have to change the position. So I have an BSB on foot with 1-up armor and the Stalker banner. I have and yeah, some other stuff too, but well. And I have a Flying Lord with demonic wings. He is just true chaos because this gives me the possibility to place him not only in the Wasteland, in the Nurgle warriors, in the Pestilence warriors, but also in one of the chosen units. So sure, Razmark would be much better for him, but since I want to be able to put him inside these Pestilence warriors too, and I want to play Pestilence, not Vras Warriors, so yeah, that's why he has True Chaos. Then I have a Sorcerer with Alchemy. I think he's a really powerhouse. He can burn down a pretty nice magic phase. I think Alchemy is right now one of the best laws you could take. The attribute is, I think, pretty overpowered. Uh, I don't know. I think it should be changed just for. It shouldn't work for magic, just for close combat, since it doesn't work for shooting either. I think having the rerolls for the magic is just too hard. Yeah, but 20 barbarians just as unit for the sorcerer, 19 vast warriors, great weapon pestilence, banner of speed. So that's these are pretty fast with movement 6 in total because I have the 9-tailed standard 2, which gives my Chaos Lord fly 10. So this is can be pretty dangerous. 2 battle shrines, they are just so fucking ridiculous shape for what they offer. They have a nice curse, a nice spell, and sure their output is really small combined to all the other Chaos Warrior units, but I think what they offer your roster, this is just pretty nice, and I think 240 points is a little bit too less for these guys since they have toughness 5, 4-up armor, 4-up save. This is pretty good. Yeah, then I have 10 chosen with additional hand weapons, so having someone with initiative 6 can be pretty handy against some elves. That's why I took paired weapons here and not halberds, because I still have two other units of chosen with halberds with Vras. They are just a powerhouse. They are so hard. For 340 points, you get 20 if you play them 5-2. There's a 5 right, 2 deep. You have 20 attacks hitting at nearly everything, every unit on 2s, wounding them on 2 or 3, or yeah, maybe on 4. But this is this. They are pretty dangerous, I think, for everyone. They're really nice and they're cheap, so you can. It's not that big of a problem if you lose one unit, and you obviously will because they have frenzy and no musician, so they will be in sometimes in a pretty dangerous position. But yeah, they're nice. I really like them. And then the Vortex Fiend, who gives me the possibility to stand behind with my Sorcerer and cast spells. This is, I think, the only reason why I bought this. I mean, still, it's a good, nice monster with for 300 points with a 5-up stat line and 4-up ward, 5-up armor. But I think the really most important thing is that I can cast all the damaging spells through this. So my Sorcerer can stay back, and I have a pretty tanky uh, Skink Priest just for all the spellcasting stuff. So yeah, this is a roster, like I said, not that aggressive. Sure, you can kill someone pretty hard with this too, but um, yeah, it's also possible to just stay behind if you don't have such a nice matchup and just push and just do the positioning game. Maybe try to push the opponent away from the center, from the objectives, or try to secure the breakthrough or something like this, and still be able to do something in the 6 turns with your sorcerer, who is really a powerhouse. So let's jump into the first game. Ta-da! So I played against Ogres. Sorry, I don't have the roster for you here. I just forgot to take a picture of the roster, but what do we have? So this is my army. These brown boys are the Khorne chosen. These blue boys are the Lust chosen, and the rest is pretty clear. I think this is Vortex Fiend, True Battle Shrines, Sorcerer inside, Barbarians, and the Warriors with both characters inside. So what do we have on the other side? We have 2 Rocks, this guy and this guy. 6 Bruisers with a Pyromancy Shaman. A General with, I think, I really can't remember well. A Hunter on Tusker, a Hunter on foot with BSB on Tusker with Troll Eaters, a Region, 5 Yetis, and 4, how are they called? Tuskers, for Tusker Cavalry with 2-hand weapon, and 5 Trappers, a single Cat, 24 Grots, how are they called? Gnobler with bows, and 10 of these tigers here for the hunter. And I played against Clément, a pretty nice guy from Berlin. And yeah, so first time we played against each other. Overall, this roster is a pretty bad matchup for me because I really can't handle these Rocks. I think they are just right over the top right now. They are such a good choice. They are immune to multiple wounds. They are stubborn, and they have a shit load of attacks. And if they charge something, I'm just dead. I'm just really dead. This is why it's. And what I really hate on them that you can just push them forward and try to sacrifice them inside something of your opponent. You still will get their points most of the time. I really hate them. They are, in my opinion, it's really not a nice design. Yeah, well, maybe they will get changed, but just right now, I really hate them a lot. It's just they're just disgusting. So this is the picture after his Vanguard, and I think I had the first turn. I hope the plan against this is that I try to kill these rocker rocks as fast as possible with my alchemy, but he was clever enough to just place them far away from my alchemy magic. So yeah, with the first targets I had, well, obviously the trappers without the general leadership, and these cats, because yeah, they are a pretty nice target for all the magic spells too. Um, yeah, the alchemy magic doesn't only isn't only good against someone who has armor. I think it's pretty great against everything else too, was especially combined with the firing and stuff like this. The spear is always a nice spell, and the 3d6 strength 2 hits too if you have the attribute on the unit. So yeah. So let's jump into the game. This is my first movement. So I pushed forward. I think we played. Yeah, we played Capture the Flag. So he had just 3 scoring units, 1, 2, 3, and he nominated the Barbarians and both of the Rest Chosen. So I was pretty confident here that the Chosen would win the fight against these cats here, and yeah, the rest is just pushing forward. It's sometimes a little bit dangerous to push against these rocker rocks because I really have no redirectors and I just can't do anything. But yeah, I had to do something. I had to think about some things, how I could maybe yeah, not win this, but like if I just stay behind, I think I won't be able to catch his scoring units, and I will lose mine, so I would lose the scenario, and maybe I hope for that he won't think of my flying general, and maybe I can do something with it. So yeah, but with magic I was able to kill the trappers here, and nothing more. Nothing more. I would like to have killed the cat too, but I think I rolled 1 for wounding with a spear there. So then this is after his first turn. So he pushed, yeah, forward surprisingly. He went outside of the unit with his hunter here from the from these tigers, which made them pretty vulnerable to leadership tests. Mm, and he redirected my Nurgle warriors here with his lonesome tiger. So now in my magic phase, I think nothing really happened because no, well, now I wanted to declare some charges. This is what happened. I charged with the Lord outside of the unit um, on his tribesman, and I also charged with the last chosen. I think they had to roll an 8. I charged with the battle shrine, this guy. I charged with the chosen since they wouldn't be able to go away anymore. I just had to try to charge these Tuskers, and I charged here. So because they're just dead anyways. I think I was a little bit overconfident. I thought he maybe would take the bait and then charge here with his Tiger Boys. But yeah, now I'm just too far too wide forward. I don't have any redirectors and I just can't save him. So I just took the charge here on his Tuskers. I charged with my Vortex Fiend on these Tigers. They didn't pass their panic check for terror, and I redirected in the Yetis. So maybe this should be then the picture after all my charges. Yeah, I also charged with the shrine. You could see it here. This cat, so it was a charge in the flank. So I placed him here, and then he had to close the door, reformed the warriors, and pushed in that direction. This was pretty dangerous because I made myself pretty open on all this right flank, but I had to decide for the Nurgle warriors to one direction. I wanted to pin down this Rock with the shrine. With a good magic phase, or with a average magic phase, I would be able to cast at least one curse on this guy. If he hits me on just on fives and wounds me just on fives, then I think I'm pretty fine by just holding there. I also casted +2 armor um, on the how is this called, on the Vortex Fiend against Yetis. I mean, this is in a fight I can win over long term, but I hope maybe I could and maybe I could break them with in the charge with being a little bit lucky on my wounds, and then I have a charge and he doesn't have any ranks. So yeah, this was the plan there, and I think I still was in range for another curse on maybe deities or these guys. I really can't remember. But the magic phase was pretty poorly, and I just managed to get up one spell. This was this one, and I nothing else. Maybe I would be able to do some laser stuff on the Rock stuff on the Rock or something like this. But yeah, I didn't manage to do anything with my magic here. So, what happened here? Yeah, they hold against charge. Here I think I took 2 wounds, which is okay, but then it was, I think, draw because I just did 1-2 or something like this. I killed 2 Tuskers, and then the 2 remaining Tuskers just wiped out my whole unit. Oh no, they didn't wipe out the whole unit. I think one survived, and he yeah, obviously fled then, and he just rolled a 12 for overrunning, which was pretty annoying. I managed to kill the tiger here, and my other shrine also got overrun by his this guy because I don't know. I think I had to take a test on one or -1 or 2, but I just didn't manage to get this. So shrine got overrun, but luckily for me in that direction, and he went off the table because of his frenzy. So this is then the position after this. These Tuskers weren't able to charge here my barbarians. Otherwise, because I wouldn't be able to clip to close the door when they charge me here, and otherwise I would still be able to flee through the house. Yeah. So what happened here? He decided not to charge with his general inside this unit in this close combat. I think this is for obvious reasons. I still was in challenge with his sorcerer, and I would have been able to do a lot of wounds here, and he just would have got the charge into it. Yeah, my Vortex Fiend just got killed here without doing anything more against these Yetis. This was pretty annoying. I mean, sure, I know that I don't win the grind, but I maybe at least wanted to let him test 1 or 2 times by losing maybe this combat at least, especially if I have 3-up armor right now. But yeah, no luck for me. I tried to cast spells on the. I think no, this is now his turn, and he did something like this. Yeah, so his Rock came back. This Rock pushed, and he went that direction. And then after this turn, after this movement, he was able to kill the Vortex Fiend. So then maybe we'll see next turn. Yeah, this is after my turn then. So I decided to try to kill these guys with my sorcerer. I think 6 wounds on them is possible. And he still would have to take. No, well, he should have taken a panic test by killing at least one. Over here, I charged after I won this combat then, and he just ran off the table. I charged with my general, his general, and with these last chosen his Gnoblers. So I had a second scoring unit, and I was pretty confident that I would kill this scoring unit over the time too. I charged here with my Nurgle Warriors his Rocker Rock. I think I should kill this in just one turn with all the attacks I've got, but sadly I just managed to do 4. This was pretty bad, because then next turn he still is able to strike again inside the unit and stomp again the unit. This was pretty bad for me. I think if you just calculate it through, I have 5 attacks in the from the front from the back, and 11 minus 9 from the front, so made it 14. And then these 14 attacks hitting him on 3, so maybe 9 hits, and then 4.5 wounds. And then my BSB on 3 again should be able to kill it. I mean, sure, it can happen that I don't kill it, but yeah. This was pretty crucial, because again my shrine wasn't able to care, so I got one spell off and killed with this the Tuskers, but it was still the only spell, and especially if it was his sorcerer dead and no scroll and no plus to this building, this was pretty bad for me. So I really would have liked at least a curse here, so I would hold against him. But next shrine just got instantly. He just instantly broke here and fled out of this combat. And again, he rolled a 12 for overrunning. And now I think you can imagine what happened then. He was standing somewhere like here. So this is then the picture after his overrun. My general just fought next turn against his general too. And yeah, so my whole unit of Nurgle warriors, of Pestilence warriors, just got killed by both of these units. I still was able to kill his last Rocker Rock. This was pretty okay. This was fine. I killed his Gnoblers and his general, and after killing the Gnoblers in his turn, I was able to charge these cats here too and killing them. I fled here for his from his last Tusker who survived, and now I had to take a pretty important test on 8 here for rallying, which I managed to get off. He ran with his last Rocker Rock, I think, again off the table, rolling again something like 12ish or so for overrunning. So I was able to kill this Tusker, and that won me, I think, the scenario this time, but still had 2 scoring units left. I killed all of his 3. Yeah, then his Rocker Rock came back. I think I don't have any more pictures by this, and his general too, but they weren't able anymore to kill the last Vras warriors, the last Vras chosen. I redirected his Rocker Rock with my barbarians and tried to kill this guy. I think he had 3 wounds left, something like this, or 4 wounds left, but I wasn't able to kill him with in 2 turns with my alchemy magic. That was a little bit sad, and so yeah, that was a game. Since I won the scenario, and it was a 12-8 after points for me, and with a scenario 15-5, yeah, at the end I'm still okay with the result, if you're considering that it was a really bad matchup for me. But still, how the game went, I think I could have been. I was pretty unlucky on many things, especially the battle shrines, just being killed, or not killed, but let's say just don't pass their break test against these Rocker Rocks. This is, I think, not right. I mean, if you just calculate, they really don't get that much wounds by them, and I have the charge. Maybe I lose by 1, but still, if I have a magic phase, I think I might be able to just don't get any wounds by them. And yeah, that was pretty annoying. And again, all these lucky overruns, especially here on this time, which made him able to kill all of my pestilence warriors. This just didn't felt right. But yeah, still a nice start in the tournament. 15 points, not 20, so I don't have to face uh, some of all these good opponents who score 20. So yeah, just a little bit under the radar. So this is from this report. Thank you for listening, and see ya in the next episode. Bye.